everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks again for tuning in for another weekly update on news and information about DCS World. I'm your host, of course, Prickly Hedgehog, and as always, I do hope this video finds you well, wherever you're tuning in from. Well, what an interesting newsletter it was this week. More of the same from last week. Remember that Eagle Dynamics showcased some interesting exterior models of the Apache, and now they have gone on and produced a video teaser showcasing not only more of the exterior for us, but also aspects of the interior. And they're looking for our feedback on this as well. So feel free to throw your comments in below and let Eagle Dynamics know your thoughts. I do know that we do get some occasional drop-ins from employees from Eagle Dynamics, including Wags and, of course, Big Newy. So hi to those folks if they are tuning in this week. I'm absolutely blown away by what I'm seeing. So again, let me know what you think. I think there's a lot to unpack in this teaser video. There's no question that Eagle Dynamics has kind of lifted the skirts here a little bit and shown a wee flash of thigh. And I apologize for the crude analogy, but really this is a very enticing video because we see, yeah, sure, we see this interior, but we've even seen things like the monocle on the pilot's eye, and we've seen other details. And what they're saying that they revealed to us is that the cockpits are nearly complete, with only the pilot's geometry tuning, adding the parking brake, and a few cleanup items to complete, which is pretty impressive because they're a lot further along than I suspected they may be, actually. Although last week's video kind of showed, or earlier this week actually, but technically it was last week's video because I was away. That video from images of last week's exterior showcase, I was not expecting to see quite so much of the interior being done. Now, they have said here that compared to earlier images, you may have noticed the addition of the M4 carbine. Looks like it's got a 30-round mag in it too. It's hard to tell. Let me know what you think. Anyway, obviously a useful piece of kit should the aircraft go down and you're in hostile territory. You might be able to escape and evade and have some firepower to fight your way out if need be. They have completed textures and there's further weathering, and they've added additional geometry and more. So the screenshots that you're looking at are hopefully showcasing some of what I'm talking about. But again, let me know what you think of this. There's a couple of things that we can surmise here. One, I think Eagle Dynamics is kind of laying some of its cards on the table to say, hey, look, this is where we're at with this aircraft. What say ye? And of course, the community is reacting pretty positively. The other thing I think we might be able to deduce is that we are still on schedule for a possible Q4 early access release. Whether that is a purchase and then early next year we get the actual module to fly, or we actually get to fly this year, I'm not entirely sure. I guess it would depend on just how everything else is progressing, but it's looking really promising, folks. So again, let me know what you think about this magnificent aircraft. That teaser was outstanding. I'm not going to lie. The work that they've done on this exterior model alone is fantastic. And then when you get to see some of the interior stuff that they're working on, I speculated on Casmo TV's channel when he threw up a video today talking about whether or not, how do you know if it's a longbow or not? What defines that? This might be one of Eagle Dynamics' best modules to date. And that's not trying to be unkind to some of the other modules. We've got fantastic Eagle Dynamics modules, and of course we've got brilliant third-party modules as well, the F-14, for example, and the JF-17 from Decker Ironworks, heat blur simulations for the former. These are capable developers. We still have a lot of stuff on the boil too that is coming. We've seen some interesting teaser shots from Razbam. One of the things I think that really makes the difference right now in these teaser shots, of course, is 2.7. When I think of earlier releases that weren't under 2.7, the visuals are so much richer. They're so much more vivid. We have better shadows. We have more vibrant coloring. That all helps, of course, provide a very vibrant visual and aesthetic look to these new aircraft. So I may be being hoodwinked a little bit, if you like. But nonetheless, the work that's being done that plays up to those new features that we have under 2.7 is worth taking note of. And it's going to be interesting to see whether or not this aircraft comes out in Q4. So again, let me know what your thoughts are. I know a couple of things. One thing that has been interesting to note is the number of people that have come on board, if you like, that were aware of DCS or what have you, but didn't know what the game had to offer in terms of whether or not they wanted to interact with it. And now they have an aircraft that has so much pedigree that they feel that they want to buy and fly. So that's brought them onto DCS. So it's a clever marketing ploy or technique, at least, is probably the better word, by Yugo Dynamics to let a broader fan base know, hey, we're not just jets. We're doing cool helicopters as well. The Hind has showcased that. And now we've got this very sophisticated modern-day attack helicopter, which is going to perform a similar role, but with probably more firepower, and is obviously a lot more sophisticated avionics-wise. That's going to be a challenge to fly and learn and get to grips with, but nonetheless satisfying once you get to grips with that. So again, lots to discuss, lots to unpack. Again, once more, let me know what your thoughts are. And in terms of new things coming out, we've got more updates on the Mosquito. So they're saying here that we're in the final phase of the Mosquito FB6. Development is progressing well, and it includes a damage modeling integration. Now, given that the Mosquito has a wooden structure, they've been paying special attention to the effects of different projectile types and the resulting aircraft handling changes, because it is going to be quite different from obviously an aluminium structured aircraft. So therefore, a more precise round impact visual system is being tested, and they hope to be able to initially present this new visual technology for the Mossie at early access, and of course it will translate to damage and so on and so forth. So that's going to be exciting to see whether that's ready for the release, which I believe should be the middle of this month if everything goes according to plan. Again, let me know what your thoughts are on that aircraft as well. So this really rounds up this week's newsletter. There is some reference here to Operation Blue Flag 2.5. This is a competitive event that's running through in September. It's a 24/7 persistent multiplayer team versus team and has missions that focus on teamwork to achieve victory through domination and capture of objectives. As I said, it'll run through September and across multiple eras, including World War II, Cold War, and modern. If that's your bag, baby, to continue a theme from earlier this week in multiplayer events, then check it out. Now, lastly here, just to wrap up this week's newsletter, we do have a really exciting sale. Now, this aircraft almost never goes on sale, and even if it does, it's not all that massive. No disrespect to Heat Blur, but we have a 25% flash sale, 25% off flash sale for the F-18A and B Tomcat. So if you've been kicking around wanting to buy this aircraft and it's been a little bit too pricey, now is a good time to do it. It's a fun aircraft to fly. It is challenging. It will bite you. Yeah, it's a lot more analog than certainly the F-18 and definitely the F-16 with their more complex fly-by-wire systems, but it is nonetheless rewarding and challenging and is a blast to fly. And of course, it's such an iconic aircraft. And of course, we had to say goodbye last month to one of our great F-14 pilots, Dale Snodgrass, who was tragically killed in an aircraft takeoff accident recently. So there's a lot of pedigree. A lot of fantastic pilots have flown this aircraft and made it the legend that it is. So again, if you're looking for some nostalgia and want to celebrate an iconic American aircraft from the Navy, then do pick it up. I think that'll do for this week. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and I want to thank everybody for all the subscriptions recently. We are really, I think we're at, are we at 6,000 subscribers? If we're not at, I didn't check today, so if we're not at 6,000 subscribers, we are, a fraction away from getting there, and that's thanks to you guys and the tremendous support on the channel that I've had over the last month particularly. So again, I want to thank all of you for subscribing. I want to thank everybody for the productive discussion. I know sometimes people don't agree with everything that I do, and sometimes that discussion can be robust, but we've been hopefully mostly respectful, and had some good discussions. And you know, like I said, not everybody agrees with the format, and I'm not, you know, completely unashamed about what I do and why I'm doing it. And I would love to bring you more. That's my challenge. But I also work a 40-hour week plus sometimes, and I have other family commitments. Unfortunately, I am not a teenager with scads of free time like I used to be, or even in my early 20s when I was had more hair and was fun, free, and single. Now I have more commitments, and that's just the way life works out. So if you're fun, free, and in your 20s, enjoy it, because life becomes cluttered after a while, and responsibilities stack up, and yada yada yada, you get it. So again, thanks again for all that support. Keep the comments rolling, keep the discussion going. Let me know what you think about this week's newsletter, and I will put links into the descriptions below if you haven't already checked out those teaser videos from Eagle Dynamics, and of course that wonderful startup video from Sunsag Ancient Gamer. I think that's how you say it. He's been doing tutorial videos for this fantastic mosquito. Alright guys, have a great weekend. It's a long weekend here for us, and I can't wait. So take it easy. We'll see you next time. Cheers.